What is the problem about the satanic verses in the Qur'an? Listen what an Islamic scholar, Dr. Shabir Ali, says.
That is what is referred to as the Satanic Verses. And of course it becomes infamous because from an un-Muslim point of view, this is very strange. It would look like your prophet cannot distinguish between
what is satanic and what is from God.
Exactly.
We will now discuss the following. What is the issue about these alleged satanic verses in the Quran? What is Muhammad's role concerning this topic? And who is the person who published the book, The Satanic Verses? Why do Muslims react so angrily and even violently with respect to these verses? And what can we learn from this episode? And how should Christians react? Let us look first at the origin of this whole issue. It is recorded in some hadith, which are the traditions of Islam, that during his time in Medina, Muhammad longed to convert the people of Mecca to his religion, Islam. After all, the people in Mecca were his own kinsmen, and he did not like to conquer the city or even kill the people. He made some compromises to appease and make his message easier for them. One of the biggest obstacles was that Muhammad was promoting that there is only one deity, namely Allah. However, the people in Mecca still believed in different gods and idols. Therefore, Muhammad mentioned some 3 prominent female goddesses, namely Lat, Uzza and Manat. These 3 names can still be found in the Quran in Surah 53, verses 20 and 21. They were 3 goddesses worshipped by the Meccans. However, it meant that Muhammad was backing away from his monotheism by saying that these goddesses were real and their intercession effective. What was the reaction of the people in Mecca? According to Al-Tabari, an early Islamic historian, the Meccans were overjoyed to hear this and ceased persecuting Muhammad and his followers. They even joined Muhammad to prostrate with him in prayer. What was the response of Allah through the angel Gabriel? It is reported then that the angel Gabriel came to chastise Muhammad by altering and compromising the original message that there is only one deity and only one God, namely Allah. In Surah 22, verse 52, Allah comforts Muhammad, reminding him that he is no different from those prophets who came before him, whom Satan also tempted. Yet Allah promises to ensure the integrity of his revelation by abrogating what the devil cast in, which he does by revealing the actual versions of verses Surah 53, verses 21 to 26. In these verses, the goddesses are now belittled. As a result, Muhammad took back his words and the persecution by the Meccans resumed. Next, who was this person who published a book on the Satanic Verses? His name is Sir Ahmed Salman Rushdie. Born in 1947, he is an Indian-born British-American novelist. He is the author of a number of books dealing and combining magic realism with historical fiction. His most controversial book was the edition which he named the Satanic Verses, published in the year 1988. In this book, Salman Rushdie picks up on this story just mentioned and portrays Muhammad as a compromising person listening to Satan. Now let me briefly describe the theme of the book by Rushdie. Rushdie's book is a transformed re-narration of the life of Muhammad in Mecca. At its center is the episode of the Satanic Verses, in which the messenger first pronounces a revelation in favor of the polytheistic deities of pre-Islamic Mecca to win over the population of Mecca. But later he renounces this revelation as an error induced by Satan. This narrative also presents two fictional opponents of the messenger. First, Hind, a demonic heathen priestess, and secondly, Baal, an irreverent skeptic and satirical poet. When the messenger returns to Mecca in triumph, Baal organizes an underground pleasure house where the prostitutes take on the identities of the messenger's wives. Also, one of the messenger's companions claims that he, doubting the messenger's authenticity, the subtle, altered portion of the Qur'an as the messenger narrated it to him. Now let us look at the reactions of the Muslim community. Muslims worldwide were aroused since they accused Rushdie of displaying Muhammad in an irreverent depictions. Muslim leaders insisted that the book contained blasphemous references. Soon thereafter, beginning in 1989, Ayatollah Khomeini issued a fatwa in Iran ordering Rushdie's execution. Khomeini also proclaimed that it was the duty of every Muslim worldwide to obey and kill him, despite never having read the book. The publication of Rushdie's book initiated violence around the world, with book stores firebombed and public burnings of the book. Many Islamic countries banned the book. Some people associated with translating or publishing the book were attacked, seriously injured, and even killed. Rushdie himself was attacked and he was injured, and he went also into hiding and needed protection from the police in Great Britain. The latest attack on Rushdie happened on 12th August 2022. He was about to start a lecture in New York when a man from the audience rushed onto the stage and stabbed Rushdie repeatedly, including in the neck and abdomen. In October 2022, it was reported that Rushdie had lost sight in one eye and the use of one hand, but survived the murder attempt. In connection with this whole story, some questions come up. First, when Satan was able to deceive Muhammad once, it must be possible that Muhammad was deceived several times without noticing. What do you think about them? Secondly, how can people be sure which verses in the Quran are now the true ones and which ones are the abrogated verses? Thirdly, It appears from these episodes that Muhammad was not always sure in his life that the doctrine of one deity was correct. What is your opinion? Fourth point. Was it right for Rushdie to publish such a book, the Satanic Verses? Fifthly, do you think Khomeini reacted correctly by issuing the fatwa to kill Rushdie? While addressing these topics with Muslim people, I experience different reactions. First, many Muslims are liberal, so this issue is for most of them irrelevant and they don't care. However, some Muslims I spoke to were against Rushdie and said that he deserved death for what he had done. Other Muslims even said to me that if they would meet Rushdie and had a chance, they would indeed kill him. I also noticed that most Muslims I spoke with had never read the book and were not really aware of its content. For them it was enough that their leaders were against the book and ordered that Rushdie to be killed. The question we can also ask is, how should Christians react in such a situation? First, I think it was not wise for Salman Rushdie to publish such a book which he obviously knew would hurt Muslims' feelings. Also, again, second point, I like to emphasize our Christian approach. We should listen to Muslims' opinions and ask good questions, challenging questions. Therefore, it is important to have a good knowledge of Islam. And thirdly, we should not criticize or ridicule in any way Muhammad or Islam. The fourth point I would like to mention is it is not wise to argue with Muslims over texts in the Qur'an. Such arguments usually lead to accusations and hatred. Fifthly, we should rather know our Bible well and give answers from the Bible to our Muslim friends. Dear friends, if you found this lecture helpful, please don't forget to give me a like. If you have specific questions, you can write them in the comment and I will answer each of them. You can find more information in my book and download an ebook version for free on our website. See you soon again. Good day and God bless you.